Hey guys, it's Sean once again, and I'm back. I'm back from the night shoot. If you haven't watched the day 4 video of Gunsite Pistol 250 course, I encourage you to watch that video. This is the night shoot. We started at 7 o'clock p.m. and we got out at 9 o'clock p.m. Right now it's almost 10 o'clock p.m. and this was a long day. We were there full, more or less 7-8 hours. We got about a 2-3 hour, well, actually 4-hour break, and then we did the night shoot. Drove up to the Gunsite grounds. It was nice. Sun was going down. Going up the Gunsite road. That's the name of the road. It's called Gunsite. Going up over there. It's beautiful out there. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's late April 2021. It is freezing at night. Make sure that you bring a jacket, something warm. If you don't and you're freezing out there, you're uncomfortable, you're not going to get the same learning quality. The learning quality is going to be different. If you're freezing, you're going to be thinking about grabbing a jacket that you don't have. If you're nice and warm, you're going to be able to concentrate a lot more. So we went over cones and I can't remember the other term. Cones and rods. We went over cones and rods, how the eyes work. The older you get, the less of a night vision that you're going to have. So those of you who are younger, you are blessed to have that night vision ability. Okay. They talked about different lumens, right, for your lights. It was recommended that if you work in a dusty environment that you get the incandescent. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that word wrong, but it's the old school light bulb. You use that. Other environments, actually most other environments, you could use the LED lighting. They talk about the difference between 250 lumens, 500 and 1000. And we did an interesting experiment. We had a man down range. We were standing at the 25-yard line. The man down range presented a blue gun, which is basically a simulated handgun from that distance away 25 yards, which is 1/4 of a football field away. We used all different lighting system, 1000 lumens, 500, 600. And it's really hard to tell what he had in his hand. I mean, he can posture to you like this, but even if he had a cell phone, you posture like this, it looks like a gun from that distance, but you can't really tell. We didn't really realize, and it was more or less kind of irrelevant whether there's 80 lumens, 500, between the at around the 15-yard mark is when you could notice a lot better, but there wasn't much difference between the different lumens. I mean, you can have 5,000 lumens and it's really hard to see the distance. So again, what I mean is hard to see the distance, I mean 25 yards, 20 yards, but then 15, it's a little bit gray area, meaning that you're not totally sure what's in his hand. Maybe it might be a gun, maybe not, but just because you have more lumens, that doesn't make a gun more visible. Well, it might help a little bit, but maybe not significantly, and that's what we did. We also found out, we realized, and I should have known this already, that if you have fiber optics on the front sight fiber optic, it does crap at night. It doesn't help you one bit. At daytime, it's going to help you pick up the front sight picture, but at night, you can't even see your fiber optic sight. It's blacked out. So one of the techniques we did is, if you can't find your front sight, is to bring your gun all the way up to the horizon where there's some light, or you can even bring it up to a street light. If this is nighttime and then there's overhead lights, you could even point your gun upwards in the horizon, safe direction, and pick up your front sight there and then lower it to where your target would be. The guys I was standing next to didn't find this useful. It didn't help me out at all. instructor mentioned possibly because we lost a lot of the lighting from the dusk. You know, it was when we got there, it was dusk and there was a significant amount of light. And then when we started doing the drill, a lot of the lighting just went out. It was pitch black. I even had a hard time filming video. Everything just was becoming blurry, out of focus. Whether this technique works or not, I don't know, but our instructors are the best at what they do, and maybe there's certain conditions that would allow you to use that technique, but it didn't work for me, and a lot of the other guys, the guys next to me, didn't work for them either. Okay, if you have a mounted light, they will not let you use it until the end when you get to fire like 4 rounds only. But they want you to get used to using the Harry's technique, which is overhand like this, and you're searching with your gun out like this. And the ideology behind that is you're not painting yourself as a target. The light is farther away. Perhaps they might shoot over here. Okay, and then we practice transitioning from the FBI technique. So this is the FBI technique to the Harry's technique. It's so late right now. I'm really exhausted. I can't remember what technique I just explained, but let me just clear the air again. Okay, this is the FBI technique when you're going overhead, keeping the flashlight away from you, and then when you bring the flashlight, you're going to bring it towards your chest. Okay, bring it towards your chest, and then you're going to go into Harry's. So you have the flashlight. This will hold your flashlight. You get to here. Okay, lock the wrist like this. Try to make this as straight as possible. Okay, and then now you can fire your gun like this. Okay, just different techniques that we did. Every video, my disclaimer is I am not a Gunsite instructor. I'm still learning some of these techniques myself, and until I perfect these techniques, I'm gonna always give this disclaimer. And also, I think it's important that I give this disclaimer so you don't replicate what I do and go to a Gunsite and think that is the way, or this is the way that I'm showing you. No, don't think that. I am just duplicating or replicating what I believe was the proper technique based on my instruction. Okay, I'm not an instructor for Gunsite. Okay, we also noticed or realized that the strobe technique doesn't even work. It blinds you just as it blinds your assailant. So both are affected. So this is a technique that we're not going to use. Otherwise, it was an excellent course. We did the Rolling Thunder, where the guys on the left starts and then the guys on the right ends. You're going to fire 2 rounds. Another guy fires 2 rounds. Another guy fires 2 rounds. But before they fire each 2 rounds, they light up the target. We learned to, and now it's supposed to look like a thunder, like a rolling thunder, but we messed that one up, and we're still trying to perfect that technique. So this course was a very brief course in low light. It was only 2 hours. It was only a 2-hour course from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and then we got out of there. The lecture was about a half an hour long. I should have been more prepared for a freezing environment. Had I been more prepared, then the lecture would have been more comfortable. Okay, so I can't wait to tell you about day 5, which is coming up. This class is amazing, and I feel like I get my money's worth. The instructors are awesome. They worked the whole day hard teaching us, and then they showed up at night. Okay, a lot of them are a lot older, but they still have the same enthusiasm as a 20-year-old. Okay, you guys be safe. If you have any questions, concerns, comments over what I discussed, please comment below.